I don't want to go on about it too much, but I figured I'd just make a vlog, and there seems to be a problem every single time Dean Guitars makes a post, every time they make a video, every time they release a guitar. Basically every time they do anything, there seems to be a big hoo-ha where lots of people get their knickers in a twist. So today we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about why I don't think it's a problem whatsoever. First of all, I just want to say that in this video, I'm going to kind of compare, as a reference, Eddie Van Halen to Dimebag quite a lot, because I wanted to show you guys why I don't think it's a problem, and I think using another artist, another guitarist, is the best way of doing that, because for me and my era, and for my style, Dimebag is to metal and my era what Eddie Van Halen was to his era and rock, as far as guitar playing goes. So the other day, Dean Guitars released an ML. I mean, it wasn't released the other day, to be honest, it's been around ages. They announced it ages ago. But they released an ML guitar, which is their shape. It always has been. And Dimebag loved it, along with many other guitarists, including myself. And it's in like the slime colour. Okay, so it's like a green burst, which kind of Dimebag loved and kind of made famous when he was at Washburn Guitars, not even at Dean Guitars. But anyway, the point is that they released this guitar, and there was quite a lot of abuse in the comments. I don't usually go through comments and see what people are saying, but I was interested to see if everyone had got over there. You know, if everyone still had the knickers in a twist over this Dimebag thing. So I looked, and it was 50-50, and there was a lot of guys complaining, there were a lot of guys saying, who cares, you know, it's a great guitar. Trying to get to the point, Dean Guitars released a guitar that has the Dime Slime style of green burst on there, which is being used by many brands out there, including Solar Guitars. So Solar Guitars released their stealth influenced guitar. You know, the shape is influenced by the stealth, you can't ignore that, and that was released bang on time. And I'm not having a go at Solar Guitars here, I think it was a genius piece of business that they kind of did there. They released that guitar that was very much like a stealth when you couldn't get a stealth anymore, and I think it was bang on, and it looks a great guitar to me. And they've now released one that in my opinion is in Dime Slime colours. Okay, so back to Dean Guitars. Dean Guitars have released this guitar. It's an ML, it's in the slime. Okay, no one said anything about the Solar guitar that's in exactly the same finish and very much like the stealth, apart from one point's a bit different in the headstock. Okay, no one said anything about that, but everyone is moaning, not everyone, some people are moaning about this guitar, saying it's disrespectful to Dime, when I just don't think it is at all. And the reason I don't think it is because this has been happening for years in the guitar industry. Let's talk about Eddie Van Halen. So this is where I bring Eddie Van Halen in. Eddie Van Halen was with PV amps. I love PV amps. I got a 6505 behind me, a 6505 Plus, and a JSX up there as well. All three amps are absolutely awesome. I love PV amps, simple as that. Now, the thing is that when Eddie left PV, they fell out. I don't know what over. Can't remember, don't care either. Eddie left, and the 5150 could not be called the 5150 anymore. PV had wanted to keep the amp, and many people bought it when it became a 6505, me included. I've had loads of them. Okay, so everyone was happy because the amp was not going to die. It was kept going by PV. It just had a bit of a different name. Well, basically they just changed the numbers around, you know, from 5150 block letter to 6505 on there. But do you get my point here? No one's moaning that PV did that. You know, no one's saying that's Eddie's, you know, that's Eddie's amp, how dare you do that. Everyone's just happy that that amp still exists. Let's move on to guitar. So Eddie Van Halen has the Wolfgang shaped guitar. Before he had that with his own brand, EVH, he had it with PV, and I think now is it called the HTP or HP or something, but it's still basically the old Wolfgang shape which he had when he was at PV. Again, nobody says anything about that, nobody moans about that, so I don't see the difference between what PV have done plus other brands, because don't forget Jackson Guitars have the RR, which is, you know, the RR stands for Randy Rhoads. Gibson have the Les Paul. I don't really understand why people are kicking off when this has been going on for years, but they're kind of precious over the Dimebag thing, which I totally understand. But for me personally, I just think that this has all escalated because Rita has fallen out with Dean Guitars. I think if she hadn't, then she'd have just pulled away and had nothing to do with it anymore and left Dean to their own devices. I don't think there would have been any hoo-ha at all. I think everyone would have been happy for Dean to keep making the guitars as they were. Dean are now releasing Razorback shapes and stealths as well, and they've taken Dimebag's name off them. Again, just the same as PV when they took the 5150 off there and put 6505 on, just the same as when they took the Wolfgang off the guitars and they put HP, HT or whatever the hell it is on there. Don't like the guitars myself, but don't know much about them either, as you can probably tell. But my point in this video is that it doesn't really matter. Brands have been doing this a long time, and there doesn't really need to be all this hate. I don't think. I think it's pointless. I think it's silly. And like I said, Solar Guitars, I think Ola didn't help when he made a video kind of saying it's disrespectful and all that, and the Dime legacy. You know, the Dime legacy is not going anywhere. He's an awesome guitarist, and his music's going to be around for years, and no one's going to ever forget what he did for heavy metal, ever. And it's as simple as that. Just like they're not going to forget Randy Rhoads, you know, the same difference. So for me, the X, the Solar X, I tried to get on the channel, Solar Guitars, don't want to send me one. I'm not a big enough YouTuber, basically, is what they said, which is fine. That's their choice. That guitar looks great, but it is influenced heavily by the stealths, the Dime guitars. You know, you can't pull away from that. And now they've released one in this kind of Dime slime colour. It's pretty obvious, but nobody says anything about that. They all focus on Dean, and I just think it's getting a bit crazy, a bit silly. Dean won't mind because all them clicks, all those comments are all helping people see the guitar online. They all help, whether it's good publicity or bad publicity when it's on social media. It helps your video get seen. If I get tons of comments hating me in this, it's only going to help the video get seen. But yeah, I'm just a guitarist that wants to see good guitars, guitars that I like, out there for us to buy, available for us to buy. And I don't really care who makes them or anything really, any politics. I just like good guitars, and I just want to be able to buy good guitars. And I think it's great that somebody is still making those guitars. As far as Dean are concerned, you know, with the 0 Fs given and everything, I think that Dean have always been that way. Dean have always been the type of brand that go out there and don't care and, you know, throw at, you know, the kitchen sink and everything when they make a guitar. They don't care. They're always lavish. You know, the ML shape is pretty out there itself. So yeah, I just think that that's just Dean guitars being Dean guitars, how they've always been to me. They've always been that way. But I don't see the problem. Like I say, I want to know what you guys think. I don't want too much hate, but for me as a Dime fan, it doesn't bother me. You know, I'm never going to forget Dime for who he was and his music and his guitar playing. That's for sure. But I also like Dean guitars, and I like everything they've done, whether it's been related to Dime or not. I mean, for me, there is nobody more than Dean guitars. Nobody else should be making MLs. You know, that shape belongs to Dean guitars. Thanks very much, guys, for listening. Hope this video kind of gets my opinion across. Please do not forget, this is just my opinion only. I really don't think that this is a problem. I think people are making a problem out of something that's been going on for years in all industries. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you all soon.